Moises Caicedo is going to have face-to-face talks with Brighton and Hove Albion because they're taking the mick at this moment in time out of Chelsea. They want £100 million when he's got a verbal agreement. Shouldn't have signed the contract, geezer. Wesley Fofana's got an ACL injury and we are linked with Harry Maguire. I'm not joking, this is not clickbait. We are linked with Harry Maguire and Mark Guehi. And finally, we've got an update on Ian Maatsen and the big one, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Marseille. Here we go. Another one goes out the door. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Kavkas View. I took one day off yesterday. I'm back again and I'm here with your Chelsea news. Your Chelsea nutrition is about to be refilled. The glycogen in your muscles are going to be enhanced and you're going to enjoy your Chelsea dose for the day. So, before we continue, I need you lot to do me a massive favor. Please, por favor, pajausta, por favor, s'il vous plaît. I can't think of any more languages to ask you. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel because we're trying to get 30,000 and we want to hit 1,200 likes on this video. It's a new target. I think we can do it. So let's do that. In the pinned comment is my Instagram. DM me with your football related questions as well. Let's move on with the story. This Moises Caicedo saga is getting a little bit out of hand at this moment in time. I think you're sick of it. I'm definitely sick of covering it. Like, genuinely speaking, I'm bored of Moises Caicedo. But the issue is, if there's news, you don't want to hear it. You lot are asking me on Instagram DMs, what's going on with Moises? What's going on with Moises? I keep telling you guys, I'm reporting what's being told. I got no sources. What's been happening? Chelsea are planning on putting a £70 million bid in with £5 million in add-ons. Chelsea want to pay somewhere close to £80 million for the player. The players' camp and he are furious. They are absolutely furious with Brighton because they think £80 million should be more than enough to acquire his talents, considering he costs £5 million from Independiente. But the reality here is, and this is the problem that no one wants to understand, Declan Rice went for £100 million, 105 to be more precise. Enzo Fernandez, his teammate, is going to go for £104 million. What do you think Moises Caicedo is going to be worth? So the reality is Brighton are allowed to charge whatever they want and Chelsea have to put up with it and find a way to negotiate with Brighton. Brighton want to negotiate and Brighton have said this, and this has absolutely rattled me. Give us Levi Colwill and we'll lower the price down. Excuse me. On what grounds is Caicedo a £100 million player, but Levi Colwill isn't? Like, on what grounds do we give you our prized possession at centre back, and more importantly, then add on a quickly 50 million, 60 million on top? Are you stupid? The boy? Like, I'm gonna turn into Russian in a second. Like, this is ridiculous. On what ground is this acceptable type of negotiation? For me, if I'm Chelsea, I'd dunk 90 million on their head top, make Caicedo hand in a transfer request, make Caicedo refuse to go to training, refuse to play in pre-season training, go on strike. If I'm Caicedo, that's what I do at this moment in time. You don't want to sell me? I'm going to be a nuisance. Not only am I going to submit a transfer request on Twitter and Instagram again, I'm going to publicly start saying, I don't want to be here. I'm going to be disruptive in training sessions. I am going to be annoying. I don't care if it's classy. If I want to leave, let me out of my contract. It's as simple as this. You signed me for £5 million. You're making close to 2,000% profit. Sell me. It's not complicated. It is ridiculous at this moment in time what's happening. And more to this fact, what really irritates Caicedo's camp is they are going to have face-to-face meetings. They were expecting to be sold at this moment in time. And that's the update. And this is all from Ben Jacobs. Let's move on to the next. So this next story is sad. And I mean it. This is a sad state of affairs. Wesley Fofana is a baller. I love Wesley Fofana as a footballer. And you know what? Watching Wesley Fofana on the persona that he represents on Instagram, on Chelsea TV, or interviews, or on the pitch, Wesley Fofana looks like a really cool. Like, Wesley Fofana comes across super genuine, super humble, like really cheeky chappy. Comes across like a really good guy. He's screwed with these injuries because this is the second knee injury since he's been to Chelsea, or maybe even the third. He's been signed to Chelsea for less than 12 months. He already got injured once, came back from the World Cup, got injured again, and then he's injured again now. And this time it's an ACL. And this time this could be somewhere between 7 to 9 months. He could be out for the whole season. One thing I am going to say is his agent done a marvelous job. I want to give his agent a round of applause. Because the fact of the matter is, the fact that Wesley got a 7-year contract on 200k nearly with incentives added incentive. It means that his agent done a good job. Yes, he's not going to activate those incentives. And yes, Chelsea are never going to pay the £80 million based on what we've seen at the moment because he can't stay fit. So it's going to be a £64 million signing. But the reality is, it's a shame what's happening to this kid. He's 22 years old. And what scares me, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, I think this is his career done. I don't think he recovers from this. Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember. Remember when Kurt Zuma came to England and he was absolutely amazing. He was a monster. Like, he was bullying people, recovery tackles on smash, absolutely explosive, just far superior than most strikers physically and dominated them. Then he got that disgusting injury to his ACL, that knee. He never was the same player. He just lost the yard of pace. And can you imagine? Fofana's getting this over and over again, over and over again, over and over again. And this is worrying. Like, I'm genuinely worried. But more importantly, I feel sorry for him. I don't think no amount of money could ease the burden on him. Yes, he never most probably will have to work again, but he's 22 and he might have to retire. Like, it's disgusting what's happening to the kid. It really is, and that's just my personal opinion. Then we need to talk about what Chelsea are going to do. Apparently, Chelsea are going to look at the market, and the only way we're signing a new defender is if we find the right piece. Graham Bailey from 90 Min is saying that Harry Maguire has been offered. I don't believe this. And the reason I don't believe this is because we've been having a lot of Harry Maguire leaks coming out of like Manchester, especially the Manchester-based journalists. They were coming out with, oh, Harry Maguire is going to fight for his position. Yes, he got stripped of the captaincy. He is a little bit unhappy. He's furious. I don't see Chelsea going after Harry Maguire. And I'll explain to you why. Not just Harry Maguire's crap, we'll never look at him. Harry Maguire's on 200k. I don't see Chelsea offering him 200k, considering the fact that Chelsea have a new policy with a new incentive-based contract. Number two, Harry Maguire is not the age profile Chelsea are trying to acquire players in. Harry Maguire is 30 years old. And number three, and I hate to be that guy because I said I wasn't going to be, Harry Maguire is not that good. For crying out loud. Like, Harry Maguire is not going to be coming into Chelsea. Don't try to convince yourselves. I think Graham Bailey got fed some bad information and he's relaying it to us. That's just my personal opinion. On to the next one. We're linked with Mark Guehi. Mark Guehi is a former Cobham graduate, played for Swansea on loan, came back, got sold to Crystal Palace, went on, had 2 seasons at Palace, is valued around about £50 million right now. Chelsea have a sell-on clause of around about 20%, if I'm not mistaken. So Chelsea can almost use that 20% to get the price down. So hypothetically, when Mark Guehi leaves, Chelsea secure a nice little pocket of change in their pocket. So maybe Crystal Palace are going to nice Chelsea and give them a little discount just to like take that out, and we'll secure the player on night. The reality is, I don't see that we need, because Guehi is a very good player, but is he much better than Chalobah? I like Chalobah, I really do. I think a lot of you are too harsh on Chalobah. I think a lot of you expect Chalobah to be Wesley Saliba. A lot of you, or yeah, I think his name's Wesley Saliba, or a lot of you expect him to be Levi Colwill. A lot of you expect him to be Sergio Ramos. I don't think he's that kind of defender. I think he's 4th choice, 5th choice. He's cover, he's depth, he's the player that comes in when you need him and doesn't let you down. And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm happy with him being in that role. And more importantly, I really want the idea of the one and only Badiashile and Levi Colwill to try build a partnership. That's my personal opinion. I want to know yours. We've got some additional information that is coming out, and the additional information is about Ian Maatsen. Ian Maatsen is a player that's going to be fighting for that left back position. We've been told by The Athletic that Ian Maatsen wants to fight for the position. First of all, he wants to stay at Chelsea. If he can, he will. If Chelsea want to move him on, then he can't help it, right? But first and foremost, he thinks he's good enough to break into it. I love that. For me, that is fantastic news. I need Ian Maatsen to have that kind of mentality. Number two, Maatsen has got 3 guaranteed clubs interested in him and 1 in Burnley trying to acquire his services. £20 million bid has been rejected, and the loan is the most likely option as of now. Forest, West Ham and Benfica all are interested in acquiring the services of the kid. The kid is phenomenal. He really suits Pochettino. I really think Pochettino will most likely give him a chance. Pochettino loves to rotate his fullbacks. So the idea of Maatsen being cover for Ben Chilwell is very nice. Cucurella most probably will become cover for Chilwell as well. We'll just see what happens. If we can move Cucurella, we can move him. If we can't, then I think Cucurella stays and either Ian goes on loan or Chelsea sell him. That's the most likely outcome. Secondly, and I think the big one here, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has moved on. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has had a here we go from Fabrizio Romano. Thursday will be the medical in Marseille. He's going back to France. I think he's Parisian born and bred, the way Julien Laurent says it. So he's going back home, in essence. He's going back to France. He's going to relax there. He's going to play out his final years of his career in Marseille. And the reality is he never got a chance at Chelsea. Like, Thomas Tuchel got sacked. Thomas Tuchel had big plans for him, big plans for himself, big plans for Pierre, big plans for Chelsea. And Bowley just literally took him out. He just said, sorry, guys, time for you to leave. And at the end of the day, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was in no man's land after that. For Potter, he shined for a couple of weeks, but then he was getting taken out of the squad, brought into the squad, taken out of the squad, brought into the squad. It never was, in my opinion, firm. It was never concentrated on based on performances. But it is what it is, guys. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you guys think about this whole centre-back issue. Do we need to sign a new one? I personally don't think so. I think a lot of you will think so, but let me know. Persuade me otherwise. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Peace out. I'm out.